Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the day after discussion of the Oilers' 4-3 victory over the New York Islanders. I hope you all enjoyed the game last night. It was a very fun game, but it was a lot closer than it should have been. We have a lot to talk about, especially from a goaltending perspective. I think the sample size is large enough where we can start to discuss Stuart Skinner's role on this team this season and whether or not I think he can actually pull his weight and help this team win a Stanley Cup, because right now Stuart Skinner is struggling. But he's not the only one. So there's a few different players I want to talk about. But this is also going to be a lot of positivity in this video. Connor McDavid, he's 1 point away from 1,000 in his career. He will likely achieve that on Thursday against the Nashville Predators. And Leon Draisaitl, he is playing such good hockey that I would actually have him as a Selke frontrunner right now. And you love to see it. So if you end up enjoying this day after discussion, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're continuing to build just an incredible community here on YouTube. We recently hit 4,100 subscribers, like 2 days after we hit 4,000. The growth on the channel continues to explode exponentially, and I could not thank you all enough. So thank you. And of course, for those who tuned into the live stream last night, I did do a live stream commentary. If you have not seen one of those, I encourage you to tune into one at some point. I will be doing another live stream commentary tomorrow against the Nashville Predators. I think it'll be a fun game. I think the Oilers have a great chance to come out with another 2 points and really start to get on a bit of a run here. Now, in our day after discussion, we have a lot to discuss. All of the topics on the right side of the screen, at the bottom, the score and the advanced metrics in all situations. The Oilers in all situations last night had a 72.52 expected goals for percentage and a Corsi for of 64.06%. The Oilers completely dominated the game from a possession metric. They only gave up 3 high danger chances against all game according to Natural Stat Trick, and they had 17 high danger chances for. This is a game that should have never got to overtime. This is a game that the Oilers probably should have scored 8 or 9 goals, but Ilya Sorokin of the New York Islanders gave them a chance to win, and he allowed the Islanders to get another point in the standings. The Islanders play some pretty boring hockey, and halfway through the second period, I think a lot of us in the live stream, and including myself, who was live streaming, was getting a little bored, a little tired of how the game was going. But things got excited. There was some chaos at the end of the second, which was really fun to do commentary on. And then, of course, the third period. The Oilers scored 2 goals, but then the Islanders tied it right up and forced overtime before Draisaitl got the game winner. Now, before we get going here into all of the topics, every single topic will be timestamped. So if there's anything that you want to listen to in non-chronological order, you can find the timestamp in the description of the video. So we'll get started. Topics today: oil heating up. We're just going to generally discuss about the Oilers' play recently. They are 8-4-1 since October 15th. They have some of the best metrics in the entire NHL. Their big issue right now is keeping the puck out of the net and their penalty kill. So again, there's a couple things. As soon as they get that turned around just a little bit more than they have been, this is a team that is trending up, and I have no concerns about their ability to start putting some wins up on the board. Then I'm going to talk about Skinner. Both Skinners, Jeff Skinner and Stuart Skinner. They're both struggling right now for various reasons, and I want to kind of take a look at both players, see where they're at, see where they're trending. Is the sample size large enough to determine if an upgrade is needed for either of them? We'll discuss that. Closing in on 1,000, we're going to discuss McDavid's performance last night. He had another incredible game. He had 4 points last night against the Islanders, so and then 3 points against Vancouver. So McDavid has 7 points in his last 2 games, and he is starting to heat up. He looks very healthy right now, which is a good sign. Hashtag Draisaitl for Selke. We're going to discuss Leon Draisaitl's game. Not only his offense, because he does have 12 goals this season, but we are going to discuss his defensive game. His defensive metrics have been very, very strong. The best in his career so far, and you love to see it. I'm going to talk about Derek Ryan a little bit. I don't talk about the fourth line very often on here. Derek Ryan is a low-event player. Not much is happening when he's on the ice, for or against, but that's kind of a problem for me. So I do want to discuss Derek Ryan and his future role on this club. Then I'm going to talk about the Nurse Kulak defense pairing briefly, and then I'll discuss the Oilers, what's coming up next on the schedule, not only for the Oilers, but also for myself, and then my closing thoughts. Long intro today. I do apologize. I'm going to try and keep all these topics pretty streamlined. I don't think this day after discussion is going to be nearly as long as they usually are, but like I said, you need to skip around. If there's anything you want to hear me talk about first, use the timestamps in the description. Our first topic, oil heating up. I did mention it briefly. They are 8-4-1 since October 15th, and their advanced metrics have been terrific. They're a top 3 team in expected goals for. They're a top 3 team in expected goals against per 60. In that time, this is a team that is absolutely heating up. Their big problem, though, is keeping the puck out of the net and their penalty kill. However, good signs last night. The Oilers took 2 penalties. They managed to kill both of them, and I don't even think they gave up a single shot to the Islanders on the penalty kill. So that's a really good sign. And if the penalty kill can start, yeah, I love that. If the penalty kill can start to feel good about itself and the team can start to find a little bit of a rhythm on the penalty kill, that'll be huge in allowing this team to win more hockey games. I'm glad the penalty kill came up clutch because Stuart Skinner was not coming up clutch. I don't think he faced a shot on the penalty kill, and I feel like if he had faced a shot, it probably would have went in the net the way he was playing. Skinner has a huge issue with his lateral movement in his crease. Big problems when it comes from even moving 2 feet to his right or 2 feet to his left. He just looks lost out there sometimes. But the team in general, they are heating up. The offense is starting to turn around. They have 11 goals in their last 2 games. Now, they had a bit of a blowout, bit of an explosion against the Canucks, and I would say Lankinen, under normal circumstances, if he was on his game for Vancouver, stops at least 3 of those shots that beat him in the third period. The one goal from Connor Brown should have never went in, but it did. Brett Kulak, he also scored from a spot that he probably shouldn't score from. But as an Oilers fan, I'm not going to complain. Brett Kulak has had a terrific offensive season, and Brett Kulak is doing some weird things right now that I really enjoy. He is getting in on the forecheck. There were numerous shifts against the Islanders last night where Brett Kulak is carrying the puck in and then also forechecking down low. He's down low in the corners, working it along the boards, trying to get it to a forward, and then Brett Kulak, he'll circle back in front of the net. He's looking for tips. He's looking for chances in front before he gets back on defense. Brett Kulak is a very, very mobile defenseman, and I'm wondering if Paul Coffey has seen something in Brett Kulak that makes him say, you know what, I want you to take more chances. I want you to drive some offense too. It doesn't always have to be Bouchard or Ekholm for, creating offensive chances from the blue line. And for Brett Kulak, he's looked terrific. This is the best start to his career in a season with the Oilers. And there was a lot of talk about maybe they would trade him for cap reasons during the summer. I'm really glad that they didn't. I know hindsight is 2020. I think I initially did advocate to maybe, clear him for cap space to re-sign Philip Broberg. This was like before Broberg was even offer sheeted. But Brett Kulak, he's been really good. And the Oilers offense in general has been solid. The Oilers are starting to turn it around. Their 5-on-5 offense is starting to pick it up, and they're going to need it to continue to get to a high level if they're going to keep winning hockey games, because right now, goaltending has not been great. But other players that have been heating up offensively, Evan Bouchard, of course, he has was it 5 points in his last 2 games? Let me just confirm that. No, 3 points in his last 5 games. He had 3 points against the Islanders. He didn't have a single point in the 4 games before that. But for Evan Bouchard, hopefully that's a sign that he'll start turning his game around. And then Zach Hyman, of course, he has 3 goals in his last 5 games. Hopefully, again, that is able to sustain itself. Hyman, he's been all over it. There was a play last night where Connor McDavid was like in an open area and he shot the puck. Zach Hyman was standing at the post on the short side, and it looked like McDavid was just trying to hit Zach Hyman's body and like deflect it into the net. I'm not sure what that was, but Zach Hyman, he's in the right spots, and the puck's going to find him. He's going to score some more goals here. Players that you would like to see a little bit more from, though, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is still at 1 goal on the season. He has 1 goal in 16 games. That is not very good. But yeah, Corey Perry has 3 goals. Connor Brown has 3 goals. So there's a lot of players right now that you can tell they're starting to feel good about their game. That third line for the Oilers, they've reunited Janmark, Henrique, and Brown, which I think long-term probably not great. However, they did look very good against Vancouver Canucks. They put up a ton of points, and hopefully they're able to also continue. The team is trending upwards. Their best players are starting to play like their best players, although Draisaitl, you could argue, has been their best player all year, and he hasn't really slowed down at all. But that's a good sign, and that's a good sign of Edmonton is going to, continue to climb up the standings and try and get some separation. The standings are really close right now, like really, really close. Everyone is bunched together. Nobody has created any form of separation, which is, I would consider that possibly good news if you're an Oilers fan, because they have an opportunity, go on a 4 or 5 game win streak here, and you'll start to see some separation, and it makes it really difficult for other teams below them to climb back up because of how close everyone is, and then everyone's playing each other every single night. The Oilers need to go on a bit of a run here. Let's win 4, 5, 6 in a row. They have not won 3 straight games yet this season. They have 2. There was 2 times where they won 2 straight. They have yet to win 3. Let's see if they can make it 3 straight against Nashville on Thursday. Now, let's talk about Skinners, both Skinners. It's not good if you're an Oilers fan, Jeff Skinner and Stuart Skinner. We're going to talk about Jeff Skinner first, and then I'll talk about Stuart Skinner. So Jeff Skinner lately, he is losing the confidence of the coaching staff, and you can start to see it. His ice time is starting to get limited. Last night, he started on the 4th line after, it was 2 games after he was on the 1st line with McDavid. So very interesting to see how he's basically gone from top 6 to 4th line almost instantly. And I wouldn't say it's because I think he's been playing really poorly. However, he's not playing very good either. He started off the season pretty strong. He was one of the only ones that was actually helping contribute to any kind of offense when the team was struggling to score goals. But now that the rest of the team is starting to kind of turn things around, Skinner's game has completely plummeted. And Skinner, he is a one-dimensional player. He's all offense. We knew coming in he wouldn't play a whole lot of defense, and he's also a power play producer. But in Edmonton, he doesn't get power play time because that top unit is usually out there for a minute 40 for every single power play. So Jeff Skinner, obviously the offensive numbers aren't there, but another concerning thing is he looks like he has no confidence right now, especially last night. You could tell that he was really fighting it. And then the one goal that the Islanders scored, I think it was their second goal. There was a play along the half wall. Skinner was late getting back to cut the dump in. It came around the board. Stuart Skinner came out initially to play the puck. He missed it, and then Jeff Skinner was late reacting on the far half wall. The Islanders keep it in. They cycle it back around. It comes out in front, and Anders Lee scores to make it a 3-2 game. And I think the coaching staff at that point went, you know what? I think we're going to start limiting Jeff Skinner's ice time. We're going to take a look at his ice time here. Last night against the Islanders, he only played 8:53. He only had 12 shifts, 1 shot on goal, and he has not had a single point in 4 straight games. And in those 4 games, he is a -5. And if you are someone that wants to play in the top 6, if you are someone that wants to play with Connor McDavid, you have to earn those opportunities. You have to find ways to contribute. If you're not putting points on the board, what else are you doing? Vasily Podkolzin continues to get top 6 ice time, despite the fact that he is not producing at all on offense, but he's doing things on the ice that allow him to have the confidence of the coaching staff to keep putting him out there. Vasily Podkolzin, he works hard on the forecheck. He gets pucks to his best players in Leon Draisaitl, and he works well with his line mates. Jeff Skinner, he's a little slow right now. He's a little slow reacting to plays, and he's not looking particularly good. He had a goal against Calgary, but since then, it's all donuts across the board, and his plus-minus is not looking great. He's a -6 on the season, but 5 of that minus has come in the last 4 games. 6 points in 16 games, so he's on pace for a pretty career-low year, other than there's 2 years in Buffalo, 1920 and 2021, where he really struggled to put up offense. He's also shooting almost a career-low shooting percentage, 6.7%. Is that out of the ordinary? Well, no. We've actually seen this a few times with Jeff Skinner. 2020, 2021, 6.3% shooting percentage, 1920, 7.7. He is known to be a streaky player. He's known to be hot and cold. And this is a season where he is very cold. Very, very cold right now, and hopefully he is able to start to pick it up. Hopefully he can carve himself a role on this team, or else the team may be looking to move him, and I would not be surprised if they eventually move Jeff Skinner for some help on defense or even in goal. Jeff Skinner, there are probably a lot of teams that would take a look at him. The Oilers did sign him for 1 year. He kind of took a 1-year show-me deal to play in Edmonton. They signed him for $3 million, and it's not working out yet. I think it's too early to completely write him off, but for Jeff Skinner, just need a little bit more from him. Now, let's talk about Stuart Skinner. Obviously, Stuart Skinner, he is also a very hot and cold goaltender, and we've seen that before in the playoffs. Games 1 to 3 in a playoff series, he's terrible, and then games 4 to 7, he becomes the reincarnation of Dominik Hasek. And as an Oilers fan, that's frustrating because you want consistency. You would like to see consistent. You'd like to see a like 9-10 save percentage every night, win or loss, because you know what you're going to get every single night with him. Right now, the team had like, you don't know what you're getting with Stuart Skinner. He has struggled this year. He has not been able to find any kind of groove. Just when you think he is getting a groove, like that game against Calgary, you're like, wow, okay, he's turning it around. And then the game against Vegas, until there was a minute left, you're like, okay, he's turning this around. But then against Vancouver, 3 goals on 20 shots. And then last night, 3 goals on 22 shots. The save percentage is plummeting, and the team is dead last in goals saved above expected this season, according to Jay Fresh. And it's not good. It's not good. It's not good enough. The team needs some saves. They need consistency in the crease. And there's a couple of goals that I want to go over from last night that just really, really drove me crazy. So it's a little grainy. I do apologize. It's really hard to see, but the Islanders' first goal, Stuart Skinner is set here, and the puck is going to come across to Palmieri. And look at that. Like, this is such a like, we know the shooter right here. You know he's not shooting. You can tell he's not going to shoot. You can tell just the way, like, his body is in front of the puck. There's no way that he would be ripping a shot here. But Stuart Skinner truly believes that a shot is coming. He is not reacting to a pass right now. But that's okay, because there's lots of time to read the pass now. This is where Skinner should, this right now, like, how are you not reacting to this? Like, Skinner didn't even check his shoulder to see who was over here. Not once does Stuart Skinner check his shoulder. Look at this. Not once is Skinner even... Skinner is not paying attention to anything happening on the right side of the ice. And most elite goaltenders, they're constantly looking. You'll see a quick head look just to see if there is anyone over there. Skinner, he still believes that there's a shot coming or something. Puck goes across the ice to Palmieri. And look at this pivot by Skinner. Look, what is he doing? Oh, that movement is so bad. He has absolutely no lateral movement. And then Palmieri doesn't even get a good one-timer off. But Skinner is so far. Like, by the time this puck, like, he's in the middle of his net. It's so bad. Stuart Skinner is very frustrating to watch right now. And I think the sample size is large enough to say that the Oilers should probably get an upgrade in goal, because you can't have a goal like this going in every single game. And this is not the only bad goal that I want to talk about. Oh, I hate watching this, man. It's so bad. That is so brutal. Stuart Skinner, and he's always had trouble moving. If he is forced to move left to right or right to left, he struggles very, very hard. But let's take a look at the Islanders' tying goal last night. This is another one that I did not like from Skinner at all. Now, the Islanders, they won the faceoff. They pulled their goalie. It was an icing by Edmonton. You had the third line out there. So the Islanders, they work it down low. Here's Pajot. And again, look at Skinner here. Skinner, watch his head here. He's not even looking anywhere to his left where the eventual goal scorer would score on him. Again, it comes to on-ice awareness. Who's around you? Who should you be reacting to? Stuart Skinner, the puck comes down low, and he is fully focused on Pajot, but not paying any attention to Lee in front of the net, where he should be paying some attention at least, because, you know, he's at the top of your crease, bro. Puck comes in front, and here's Skinner. He's watching the puck. He's not watching where the puck is going. He's just full-on watching the puck, which is going to make you react late. And look at where he is on his crease. His skates are behind the red line. This is so bad. Like, you can't have this as your starting goaltender. I'm sorry. Like, maybe I'm being really harsh right now, and I'm the biggest Stuart Skinner defender, but last night really frustrated me. This was a game that should have never gone to overtime, and these 2 goals are the reason why. And Anders Lee, he whiffs on this shot, by the way. He does not get a good shot at all. The puck, I'll tell you when the puck, so puck enters the net. It's in the net. It's in the net. It's in the net, and then look at Skinner. He kicks the left leg out way late. It looks like a video game glitch. Like, Skinner is so far behind in terms of reading where a play is and where the puck is that it looks unnatural right now. Of course, I'm blaming Epcom on that as well. For some reason, he was pulling a Chris Russell just kind of on all fours, just sitting there. Not sure what that was about. Didn't like it, but I didn't like Stuart Skinner's play even more. Unacceptable play from Stuart Skinner, and if he does not figure it out quickly, the team, as much as I like Calvin Pickard, you can't rely on Calvin Pickard as your starter. So I would be very curious to know if the Oilers are in the market for a goaltender, if they're taking a look at goaltenders. I say they should be looking. I think they should be doing their due diligence and seeing what's out there, because Stuart Skinner, no offense to Stuart Skinner, I love the kid. Absolutely love him. I adore him. He was put in an unwinnable situation a couple years ago, having to play over 50 games as a rookie because Jack Campbell was more unplayable. And Skinner, obviously, in the playoffs, too, gave the team a chance to win a cup. Didn't come to fruition. If you need to upgrade on the position, you got to upgrade. Stuart Skinner right now, he's young enough where you keep him. You can platoon him as a 1A, 1B situation. Maybe even as a backup. He's only making $2.6 million or whatever it is. I like him on the team. I don't like him right now, though. And as a fan, like I said, I don't want to be harsh on him. There's a lot of positivity on this YouTube channel. But last night was a frustrating game to watch for a multitude of reasons, and those 2 goals are going to give me gray hair, I swear. I swear I'm going to turn gray because of the goaltending on this team. Now, next thing we're going to talk about is Connor McDavid. He is closing in on 1,000 points, and when he does, he'll become the 4th youngest player to ever hit 1,000 points, and he'll become the 4th fastest player. The only players who have accomplished this feat faster than McDavid are Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and Mike Bossy. Good old Mike Bossy, one of the best goal scorers of all time. Nobody talks about Bossy. Everyone always talks about the greats in the NHL. I feel like if Bossy had like a full extended career, he would probably be way up there. Probably maybe even would have had as many goals as Gretzky. But yeah, McDavid, he's going to become the 4th youngest and 4th fastest to accomplish this feat. And that is very impressive. Connor McDavid, he's truly special. We are witnessing, as Draisaitl said last night in the postgame, legendary, right? This is a legendary player. This is not a special player. This is a legendary player. Like there's different levels of incredible and generational. McDavid's legendary. McDavid's right up there with the best. If you had a Mount Rushmore of best NHL players of all time, for a lot of people, McDavid's probably somewhere on that Mount Rushmore list. And just with how dynamic he is, too. He's also like the most exciting player to watch. So it's really good for Connor McDavid. We're very excited for that. I really hope that he accomplishes that feat on Thursday against Nashville. While I'm doing a live stream commentary, I'd love to have a live reaction to it because I think it's going to be really special. Do it in front of the home ice fans. However, I mentioned this last night in the post-game reaction. If he doesn't accomplish the feat against Nashville on Thursday, he'll likely accomplish it in Toronto on Saturday. Hockey Night in Canada, a nationally broadcast game. And of course, near his hometown in Ontario. He'd have a lot of family and friends in town watching that. It'd be a pretty good place to celebrate. If he accomplishes the feat on Thursday against Nashville, look for the Oilers to maybe have a bit of a lull against Toronto because they might be celebrating pretty hard in Ontario when McDavid gets there. Just kidding. I don't think that would actually happen. I think McDavid is too focused on winning. I don't think he would. He doesn't seem like the kind of player that would be celebrating 1,000 points very hard. He's going to acknowledge it, and he's going to be very thankful for it. And he's going to talk about his teammates a lot. Oh, I couldn't have done this without the rest of my team. They allow me to do this, blah, blah, blah. The typical hockey response, but this is special. And as a fan, I'm not going to diminish his accomplishments because we are witnessing one of the greatest players of all time. We're witnessing a future Hall of Famer. And we're witnessing someone that I truly hope gets a Stanley Cup before the career is over because it is a crime that he does not have one yet in his 10th season in the league. Thanks, Ken Holland. Thanks, Peter Chiarelli. Truly appreciate that. Anyways, let's discuss Leon Draisaitl now. Hashtag Draisaitl for Selke. Let's get this hashtag going. I want to be one of the ones that is pushing this a lot because Leon Draisaitl is putting up some incredible numbers defensively. His expected goals against per 60, his impacts on the ice against quality competition, his ability to win faceoffs. Leon Draisaitl right now should be in the Selke front-running conversation for a variety of reasons, and Leon Draisaitl has elevated his game. A lot of players, when they get their bag, you'll see them kind of, they take it easy. They coast. Hey, I got my money. I'm just going to do the bare minimum now. Not Leon Draisaitl. He gets his bag, which, by the way, doesn't even kick in until next season. Draisaitl is, start of next season, will be the highest paid player in the NHL, and he's playing like the best paid player in the NHL. He's playing like he deserves that money. This is the best we've seen Draisaitl play away from the puck as well as with the puck, I think, in his entire career, and his stats are reflecting that. His actual stats. He has 12 goals in 16 games. He's on pace for over 50, 55 goals. Once again, maybe even tries to push 60 this year. That would be very cool if he was able to accomplish that. And with a guy like Matthews out due to injury, I would love to see Draisaitl win a Rocket Richard. I think that would be pretty cool too. But I would love to see, could you imagine the narrative outside of Edmonton if Draisaitl truly was a Selke nominee? Like, all the talking points about Draisaitl's whole career, oh, he's lazy on defense. Lazy Leon is like what people say all the time. Lazy Leon, bad at defense. Power play merchant. McDavid merchant. Draisaitl does not get his flowers enough from the rest of this league and the fans of the rest of this league. And it's a crime because Draisaitl is also one of those special players, future Hall of Famer, deserves a cup by now, obviously. And he is so good at hockey. And we've seen him when he is committed to defense. We've seen in the past little pieces of it, little signs that when he's committed to defense, he's very effective. This season, you can really tell that he's worked on his two-way game, and it's helping this team win hockey games, and it's allowing him to produce offense too. He had line mates that could score. Because he's been playing with Podkolzin and Arvidsson for most of the season. Podkolzin has 0 goals, Arvidsson has 3. If he was playing with line mates that were a bit more effective at putting the puck in the net, Draisaitl would probably be leading the league in points right now, as well as his strong defensive impacts too. Leon Draisaitl, I really hope he continues this play. I hope he sustains it. I think it is sustainable. And if it is, we're getting that hashtag Draisaitl for Selke trending. I want that trending on Twitter. I want that trending on Blue Sky. I don't even know Blue Sky does hashtags. I still put hashtags on Blue Sky. But yeah, Draisaitl for Selke. Let's get that going, Oilers fans. All right, next player we're going to talk about here briefly is going to be Derek Ryan. And Derek Ryan, this is a sad situation because I love Derek Ryan. And nobody show this video to Waz from Oilers Nation because that's his boy. That's his favorite player. I feel bad even going after Derek Ryan right now. But Derek Ryan, man, I don't know. Is it worth keeping him in the lineup right now? Like, he has 1 point in 14 games. He's a -2. He has 11 shots on goal in 14 games. Like, Derek Ryan doesn't do a whole lot. You know, like, he wins faceoffs. Derek Ryan, he'll take defensive zone draws. I think his faceoff percentage is at like 50-some% this year, like 56, 57. But Derek Ryan, there was a lot of talk about when Noah Philp drew into the lineup. And then that first game against Nashville played really well. But then Noah Philp, the next two games, really struggled. You could tell Noah Philp was struggling, not just with the speed of the game, but also the checking and then where to be positionally. I think if Noah Philp were to come back up, and I think the team should highly consider bringing him back up, I think he'll be ready to take that fourth line role. And Derek Ryan can be someone that you can put in the lineup here and there. You know, if there's a matchup where you want someone that can win a ton of faceoffs. But right now, Derek Ryan, he's really struggling. And I love him, but this is a Sam Gagner situation where just because we love him doesn't mean he should be in the lineup. You could argue Sam Gagner should have been in the lineup more last year because he did have some offensive upside. Derek Ryan this year, 39 years old. He's playing 8 minutes a night, and he's doing a whole lot of nothing with those 8 minutes. I'd like to see more players in the lineup that can actually contribute a little bit to the team, contribute to the offense. A couple years ago, Derek Ryan had 13 goals. He had 5 last year, 0 this year. It's unfortunate. Father Time is not very kind. But, you know, other guys like Corey Perry, he's just as old, but he's finding a way to contribute. Corey Perry also last night, by the way, what a dangle that he had on the right circle. I forget who he dangled around and then got a shot towards the goal. I think it was in the first period, too. It's just great play by Corey Perry. Corey Perry has, like, some of the smoothest hands I've ever seen. Derek Ryan, let me know your thoughts on him, if he should be out of the lineup, if the Oilers should just put in a younger player like Noah Philp full time, and then let Derek Ryan just kind of do his thing. Every now and then he gets into the lineup. It's unfortunate, but I did want to touch on it because I think Derek Ryan, I'd rather see players that can contribute every night instead of players that, you know, they're put in and they're not played very much, and you just kind of feel sad watching. I feel sad. I don't know. I love Derek Ryan. He's such a good guy, but we need players who can do a little bit more right now. All right, before we wrap things up, I do want to touch on the Darnell Nurse and Brett Kulak defense pairing because they have been pretty darn phenomenal together. This is a defense pair that was put together a little bit earlier in the season for a few shifts, and I did not, I did not like it. I did not like it at all, but the more they've played, the more comfortable they've looked, and Darnell Nurse looks a lot more comfortable out there as well. Sorry, I keep looking over to my other screen because I want to make sure that I get the stats right when I talk about them. So I'm going to submit their 5-on-5 stats here, sort by expected goals for, and then, of course, I will bring it over. So Brett Kulak and Darnell Nurse, they've played 66 minutes together at 5-on-5, almost 67 minutes. Corsi for 61%, Fenwick for 65%, shots for percentage 61%, goals for 2, goals against 1. This is at 5-on-5, by the way. But their expected goals for percentage, this is huge, 66.88%. This defense pair, is working. It's working very well. They're getting saves. They're not getting goals, but they are getting a ton of saves. They're getting a 963 save percentage when they're on the ice. They get a lot of on-the-fly starts and pretty even defensive neutral and offensive zone starts. But this is a defense pair that I think maybe long term you start to look at and you go, you know what? Maybe we should keep these two together and get an upgrade for the third pair, right? If Brett Kulak is going to play second pair right D, maybe that's instead of trying to, acquire a top 4 defenseman through trade, maybe you acquire a top 6 defenseman, a left-hand shot, because I don't trust Dermott to play with Emberson every single night. And then, of course, that would eliminate Troy Stetcher as well if they got another defenseman. So we'll see how it plays out. I did want to touch on that, though. I think Nurse and Kulak have played very well. I think Darnell Nurse has really stepped up his game, and I think Brett Kulak is a huge part of that. Brett Kulak has been phenomenal, and it's really good to see. So let me know your thoughts on the Nurse Kulak pairing in the comments section below. Alrighty, up next for the Oilers. As I touched on, they played Nashville Thursday, and then they play Toronto Saturday, and then they play Montreal Monday. So on Monday, I'm going to be in Montreal. I'm going to be at the Bell Center. I cannot wait. Hopefully, if there's some Habs fans that are watching this, maybe we'll get a chance to say hi at the game. Don't be shy. Say hi if you ever see me at a hockey game. I love interacting with everyone. So thank you all so much for watching. Closing thoughts? Well, I don't have a whole lot. Let's just see if the Oilers can get a big win on Thursday, keep their win streak alive, and of course, get Connor McDavid his 1,000th point. Thank you all for tuning in today. I truly appreciate it. If you liked today's Day After discussion, hit the like button. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It truly means the world. We continue to climb the YouTube ranks in the hockey world, in the Oilers sphere, and it's very exciting to see. So thank you all. Your support means the world. And follow my socials. I'm going to be a lot more active on Blue Sky, so if you do have a Blue Sky account, make sure to follow me there. All the links to my socials in the description, including Discord. I do have a Discord server. Not super active, but it is there if anyone wants to join and continue to grow a community. We'll see you soon, Oil Country. Tell someone that you love them. Fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. As always, let's go Oilers.